Hello Year 3. Welcome to our first geography lesson. The LI for this lesson is to learn how to use contours, keys and symbols to improve map reading skills. Before we start, do you have a pencil or pen and a piece of paper? Secondly, remember the pause button is in your control. If you need to pause, do so and restart when you're ready. So let's look at the first part of this lesson. So map reading is important. So to begin with, you can see on the right hand side there are some symbols and there are some words. Later you will match those to see if your map reading skills are as good as they need to be. So let's first of all realize that maps are usually too small to contain lots of writing. So instead, there are symbols which show important landmarks, places and areas. There is usually a key at the side of the map which explains what these symbols mean. Can you match the symbols with the word or words? On the right hand side you can see there are some symbols on the left and there are some words on the right hand side. We've not been through this before, so this is part of the exercise. Can you match the symbol on the left with one of the words or word on the right hand side? For instance, you can see the capital P in white. What does that symbol mean? So look at the words on the right hand side. Does P stand for campsite, school, picnic area, place of worship, tourist information, post office, walks or trails, or parking? So make a decision. P will be matched up with one of those. Look at the second symbol below, the blue symbol. It's like a triangle. What does that blue symbol stand for? So looking at the images sometimes gives you a good clue as to what they could possibly stand for. And then below that, in black writing, we have a capital S and then CH. What does SCH stand for? Look at the words on the right hand side. There are some strong clues. And below that we've got PO. What does capital P, capital O stand for? Look at the word or words on the right hand side. What do you think PO stands for? And then we've got a plus sign. Well, it looks like a plus sign. So match it with one of the words or word on the right hand side. And then we have a small letter I in a blue box. What does that symbol stand for? And look at the last two. It looks like a footprint or shoe print, I should say. Match it with one of the words or word on the right hand side. And then below we've got the final symbol. What do you think that symbol stands for? So remember, pause the pause button if you need to. I'm going to move on. Take your time. When you finish this exercise, you can restart the video. I'm going to go on to the next slide. Symbols and contours. Symbols are generally the same on most types of map. So you can see on the right hand side different symbols with words underneath to show what those symbols represent or stand for. For example, buildings or tourist attractions are shown with blue symbols. Can you see any blue symbols on the right? Different types of roads are shown in different colours. Blue for motorway, red for main road, and yellow or orange for narrower roads. Can you see any of those on the right hand side? Dotted green lines are usually used to show footpaths. Right, symbols and contours. As you can see on the right hand side, we have a group of hills or mountains. Now, to show that on a map, we have the lines below. So let's find out a bit more about contours. Some maps, especially ones that people use to find their way around the countryside, contain brown contour lines. These are lines that show how high and low areas of land. The contour lines join up areas of the same height, and when they are close together, it means the hill or mountain is steep. So you can see the numbers inside the lines. 4,500 shows us that that hill or mountain is higher than the numbers inside the lines, like 4,000 and 1,100. When they are far apart, it means the land is gently sloping or undulating. So you can see at the bottom where you've got a gap between the 100 and the 4,500. The wider that gap is, the less steep or that slope is gentle. This is useful to know when planning a route to see whether it is going to be a hike up a steep mountainside or walk on flat ground. So let's go back to contours. So we're going to look now at a video about contours.
It's my friend's birthday. He loves the outdoors, so we're going camping, and I'm taking this birthday cake in the shape of a mountain. He's given me this map to show the way to the campsite, but it's really hard to understand. He's written names next to everything on the map, but instead of making it clearer, it looks too cluttered. It would be clearer with symbols instead of words. Instead of using the word campsite, we could use the symbol for campsite. And instead of writing car park, we could use the symbol for car park. If we change all the other things to symbols, it makes it easier to understand. We'll need a key to show what the symbols mean. I still need to show where the hills are. This is where contours come in. Contours are lines drawn on maps that join places of the same height. They can be used to see the shape of the land. Look, I'll show you using the birthday cake. First, I'm going to slice my mountain cake up horizontally at different heights. Then, if we look at it from above, we can see what the contours would look like. We can see where the slope is steepest, the contour lines are closest together, and where the slope is shallow, the lines are far apart. If I add contours to the map, I can see where the hills are and how steep they are. You don't always need cake to explain geography, but it helps.
So let's start the quiz. So we're going to do a recap on the video and the work we've discussed so far. Question 1. What does this symbol from a map show? Is it a campsite, a toilet, or a church? Question number 2. What does this symbol from a map show? Is it a post office, police station, or parking? Question 3. What do these two symbols show at a campsite? Is it a toilet and telephone, a car park and a hospital, a toilet, and a post office. Question number 4. What do contour lines on a map represent? Is it width, steepness, or weather? And last of all, number 5. What do contour lines that are close together show? Is it the ground is steep? The ground is flat. There is a lake. So once again, if you need to, pause the video so you have a chance to answer these questions and then restart when you've finished. I'm going to move on. Right, map reading skills. We're now going to watch a short film for a recap on maps and how and why we use them. So you will find out about compass points, grid references, common symbols and different kind of maps such as paper maps and digital maps. So let's watch the video.
When we go somewhere new, it's not always easy to find our way around.
Let's find the beach. It's this way. No, it's this way.
That's why we use maps. A map is a picture of a place, usually drawn from above. We have big, giant maps and small maps with lots of detail. Maps can be printed on paper and folded. They can be three-dimensional like this globe, or even on a phone. The closer you look at a map, the more detail you see. Those green areas are national parks. If you get even closer, you'll be able to see the roads. To help us find the important places, like the train station, we use symbols. There are all sorts of symbols used on maps, like an envelope for a post office, a shopping trolley for a market, and even a paw print for a zoo. A good map will show you everything a place has to offer.
And then the beach should be... This is not the beach. I don't understand. Well, I might kind of have the map upside down.
To help make sure you don't get the map upside down, most maps have one of these. It shows you which way is north, south, east and west on the map. Maps also use coordinates to help you find what you're looking for. Coordinates work by drawing lines over the map and dividing it into sections, which are numbered or lettered. This line is called the x-axis, and this is where you find the first number or letter from a coordinate. This line is the y-axis, and this is where you find the second number or letter from a coordinate. Think of it as crossing the hallway and then climbing the stairs. You need to cross the hallway first before you climb up the stairs.
Where do we go now? Oh, I'd quite like to go to the waterfall. The waterfall is here, which is B7. Alright then, let's go that way.
Okay, to end this session, let's look at task 1. So on the left hand side you have map symbols, and you need to match them up with the words on the second worksheet on the right hand side. So for instance, if you think number 1 on the left hand side goes with nature reserve, you'd write number 1 inside the nature reserve box. And then if you look at the second word, river, which of the symbols on the left hand side go with river? If you think it's number 3, you would write number 3 in the box that has river at the top of it, and so on. So that's task 1. It's very straightforward. Match the symbol by writing the number in the box on the right hand side. Let's move on to the next one. Task 2. In the video, the children were using coordinates, which we call grid references. So it was explained in the video that you walk along, could be along the corridor, and then you go up the stairs. So if you want to locate Smuggler's Cove, you would walk along A and then B, and then walk up, which is 5. So the coordinates for Smuggler's Cove is B5. Your task is to write down the coordinates for all the other places marked with the letter X or a cross. What are the coordinates for each of those? So see if you can do that, and when you've done your work, remember, email your work to yr3@grange.harrow.school.uk. Now thank you very much for taking part in the lesson. I wish you well with this task and look forward to seeing your work. Bye for now. Take care.